Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Animated Excellence. We have yet another guest star today. Introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Wesley. I've been on the show a few times before.
Yay. Hi, Wes. Today we're doing Cloudy with the Chance of Meatballs, an animated movie from 2009? Man, it's old.
2009,
Um,
2010, around that era.
Somewhere around that time, yeah.
A
Um,
decade ago.
a decade ago. Man, it's really old. Yeah, we're talking about that today. Um, Cool. So, here on Animated Excellence, we have three different categories for discussion: story and characters, visuals and animation, voice acting, and then spoilers, where we spoil the movie. So, we'll start out with story and characters. What did you think of those?
I actually quite liked a lot. My favorite character is Steve, the monkey with the voice translator.
Yeah, he was pretty funny.
Yeah, I just found the comedy of it, and they didn't try to be serious at all, which is good because it's not supposed to be serious.
It's literally called Cloudy with the Chance of Meatballs.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's a limit to how seriously you can take it.
yeah, there is.
Yeah. I thought it was a pretty good story. I have not read the book in years because it's based on off like an illustrated book. Um, but I do know that this movie provided an explanation for why this town had food rain, and I thought that was really clever. The writers and directors of this movie, Phil Lord and Chris Miller, they have this really good talent of taking movies that sound like terrible ideas and then making them great. So they made this movie and they also made the Lego movie. So that shows that they can take really bad ideas and make them really good movies. So that's cool. I'm big fans of them. It's cool.
I
That's
do
yeah.
agree with you on that point because the
Mm-hmm.
base idea of, hey, let's make a movie of a town in who knows where
Mm-hmm.
that has food clouds, that
Mm-hmm.
does not sound like a good idea for a children's movie or like any movie.
Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go off on a mini tangent. There's a bunch of movies nowadays. Like, if you want me to give you specific names, like the Playmobil movie or the Bobbleheads movie. Yes, that's real. It came out a few weeks ago. Just some terrible toy-related movies, and this all has spawned from the Lego movie existing and not only being financially successful but also being a really great movie. This kind of shows how good they are with taking a bad idea and making a good movie out of it. Other studios saw, hey, wow, they can make a toy commercial into a movie and people will like it. And that's why we've had all these terrible movies. But the thing is, they didn't have Phil Lord and Chris Miller directing them,
Yeah,
so
so
that's why they suck. Um,
they
yeah.
tried their best. Their best
Well,
wasn't very good.
it wasn't very good at all. I saw the trailer for Playmobil the movie, which is already far too much. Um, anyway, cool. So with that out of the way, that little tangent, I thought the story was really good. You have the main character Flint, who's like a failed inventor. He has a very good arc about how he's kind of been an outsider his whole life, and then when he finally has a big success, it kind of blinds him to the problems with it. And in this case, it becomes a legitimate danger to the entire world, and it becomes a disaster movie by the end. Um, I also kind of like the dad's arc of accepting his son for who he is. That kind of differences between the father and son was really well uh, done. The only serious part of the movie, and I thought they did it pretty well. There's a lot of really good jokes in it too. It's a really funny script. Just like it's not even like the main jokes. It's just like the delivery and just like offhand remarks that just make you smile.
Yeah, it's
Um,
like a movie that you wouldn't expect to be any good or funny at all. But then they do
mhm.
like little one-off hand comments that
Yeah.
you just find funny and you don't really know why,
Yeah, it's
what
like
it is.
especially when they're in that jello thing, that
Yeah.
giant jello thing that Flint makes to impress Sam. He's just listing all the things in there that are made of jello. He's like that pool, that piano, that statue, that jello, that other statue. Like, just the way they casually throw in that jello as an item made of jello. These things don't sound that funny, but like in the movie, they're great. Yeah. That's what makes this movie so memorable and so just fantastic. So I love this movie for that. Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same about it.
hmm Are there any other jokes that you remember that
Um,
stick out?
there is one, but it's in the second movie that really stood out to me.
hmm Sure, give it a. Let
This
me
is
know.
from the second movie, but it's the Party Steve.
Oh yeah, that's a good gag.
If you know, you
Yeah,
know. If you don't, spoiler.
kind of hard to explain anyway.
Yeah, you'll see
Um,
it. We'll talk more about it in spoiler.
yeah. Cool. I'm not too big of a fan of the second movie, but I will say that there are some good jokes, that one included. This one is a lot better though. So let's move on to visuals and animation. So what did you think? Oh, I hit my lamp. Oh, hopefully that didn't
Okay,
catch
I
on the
thought the
audio.
visuals were pretty good from a movie that came out longer. It has better animation quality than some movies that are coming out today.
Yeah, I noticed that too. Like, wow, it looks so much better than even like movies that came out years after.
Yeah, like it still holds up. Its animation still holds up today.
hmm Yeah, like if you released it today, people would be like, "Wow, that's a really well animated movie." Whereas if you release something like, I don't know, what else came out that year? A couple of years ago, like if you release the original Shrek today, people would be like, "Ew, this is bad animation." But like with Cloudy, it hasn't aged poorly at all. Yeah, 2009. That's really great. And I think that's owed to the cartoonish style of it. They really lean into a more cartoon like style to it, as opposed to trying to imitate photorealism, which always ages movies pretty badly because obviously you can't hit photorealism and the attempts get, a little more dated by the years. Whereas this one just straight up looks like a
Yeah.
cartoon, like basically 2D animation in a
Mm.
3D
Well, it also
adaptation. So it looks great.
someone says the art style of the book as well.
hmm Yeah. It's been a while since I've read the book, but yeah, yes, I can see how this would look like it's from a book. Yeah. Also, there's like so many things that it does right with like textures, visual effects. Something especially well that it does. Also, its lighting. A lot of scenes are really well lit. Um, to pick out a specific one, that scene where the mayor is okay. This is a spoiler. Never mind. But it's in the second half. It's there. Lots of really well lit scenes. It's very colorful, and yes, it looks great. Um, Also, a lot of the comedy is visual based. That's why I didn't mention some of my favorite gags in story and characters, because a lot of them are
Yeah.
visual. So, like with the food things, they have the spaghetti tornado and the ice cream snow. I thought those were really creative concepts with the food.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
Um,
There is a lot of food-based humor, as you would expect.
mhm. Yeah, and none of it comes across as cringy either. Like you would expect, like some of these jokes with like, "Oh, that was cringy," or like
Don't ever tell me that
jokes that would
again.
appear to young children. Yeah, like none of these jokes are like that bad, which is surprising. Because it's like food puns essentially. But they make it work. Also, another there's just a lot of other visual gags that don't necessarily pertain to the food, like when the sardine land is being destroyed. That giant fishbowl with that has the largest sardine in the world, who is way too small for the bowl anyway. And then when the place is being destroyed, that giant bowl tips over. There's like a splash zone designated for one person because of how small the fish is. But then when the bowl tips over, it splashes everyone but the one guy in the splash zone. So I think that was a really good visual gag. And there's a bunch of others, but I can't possibly mention them all. It's all really good. Yeah. Cool. So I will move on to voice acting. So what do you think of the film's voice cast?
I thought they did a pretty good job matching voices with the animated characters that they had. And like the
Mm-hmm.
voices matched like the characters' personalities and their like actual animated appearances.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Like Bill Hader did a great job with his character. He's really funny. He's been in, I think he was on SNL for some time. Yeah, he's been on SNL. Um, but he's like he's really funny, and he's also brings a nice like likability to the character. And I think that's really great for this. He's the perfect voice essentially. They did a good job casting. Um, I will say, Andy Samberg plays Baby Brent. The character, I'm sorry, is just so annoying,
I
and
mean,
he
isn't that
gets
the point of the
a lot
character
of
though?
screen time. I mean, yeah, but like that doesn't mean I like it.
Yeah, it's like the point of Jar Jar is Jar Jar. There's really no explanation. For
I
all those Star Wars fans out
Who's
there,
Jar Jar?
y'all understand.
Oh, Star Wars. Okay, yeah, I have totally seen Star Wars and all the movies, and I'm a huge fan, as Wes knows.
All right, onward.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah. So, yeah, you have a point. He is kind of annoying, but you could argue that that's the point. Cool. So now we'll move on to spoilers. So we're going to talk about the ending of this movie, third act, whatever. So if you don't want to be spoiled for this movie that's been out for over 11 years, click off. But for the rest of
So
us,
everyone but that one
uh,
person.
everyone but that, like, maybe one person. What did you think of the ending?
I think the ending's pretty fitting.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the little gag with chicken, Brent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's kind
Yeah,
of fun. Yeah.
and how he contributes
Mm-hmm.
nothing other than that. But I do think it's funny.
Yeah. Yeah, my biggest gripe with the film is that the point where you think, okay, we're about to enter the third act, the movie is almost over, you're only halfway through. It becomes a disaster movie halfway through the movie. Um, and it's not bad. Like, you don't feel like, oh, this is dragging on so long. But, like, it's more
You're on
of
the edge of
like
your seat for
this
longer.
movie. Yeah, essentially. It's oddly structured. Like, it becomes a disaster movie halfway through the movie. It's a bit weird. But that said, second half of the movie, aka the third act, is pretty
Yeah.
solid.
I don't really have any major problems
Yeah.
or flaws with it.
Yeah, I liked the what is it? The
I don't know. Can't read your
oh
mind.
goodness, the giant meatball that the machine is in. Kind of fun tie back to the actual title of the movie. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's they kind of play around with the concepts of the food things, but inside the meatball in
Yeah.
the sky. Um, yeah, it's fun. It's fun. And I kind of like how they brought back the spray-on shoes and the rat birds and give them plot
Yeah, instead of
relevance.
just being
I
little
didn't think that
one-off
this movie would
things,
do that.
they actually make use of the
Mm-hmm.
elements were provided with earlier.
Yeah, when I first watched the movie, I well, actually not first watch. When I rewatched it because it had been a while, um, I thought, man, these ratbird things are so weird. Why do they keep referencing them? They shouldn't be in the movie. I hate looking at them. Why are they in the movie? But then they actually have plot relevance at the end when they carry him down from this exploded
Yeah.
meatball. Is that what it is? Yeah. So,
Just kind of a cloud of food energy.
sure, yeah, that. Um, this is a weird movie.
Yeah, it's weird to explain, but
Yeah,
it's pretty good to watch.
it's pretty good to watch. Yeah, I can give it that. But yeah, it's pretty solid. Um, cool. So, any closing remarks? Any last things you want to add?
Not really. Other than it'd be a good movie to show to younger kids if you're a parent growing up, or if you
Hmm.
have like younger siblings or younger kids to put on to entertain
Or
them.
if you don't have kids, this is a fine movie to
Yeah,
watch on your own because this is a great
yeah, but I'm
movie.
saying like to rewatch with your
Hmm.
kids.
Yeah, yeah, it's pretty solid. I do think it is a lot better than the Despicable Me 528 or whatever. Um, yeah, it's great. I like this movie a lot. Yeah, it's good. Cool. All right. Well, thanks for listening to Animated Excellence. I've been your host, Aniket. New episodes out whenever I feel like them. And have a great day.
Peace.
Bye.